Hello everyone, what is up? My name is Tasty Swampert and I am back to show you the first ever Wi-Fi battle that I had in Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire 6-on-6 singles. And yesterday I had a Wi-Fi battle against a YouTuber called Edkraze Gaming, and he's been doing a series on all these Wi-Fi battles called How to Win at Wi-Fi Battles, and I am going to be in one of them. And I am gonna tell you, this is not that great of a battle. So, by the looks of his team, it was actually really nice having not much of an OU team. I have to admit, there was no OU Pokemon in this. Well, neither did my team have no OU pokes, but Klefki's borderline, but besides that, everything else is not OU. So, yeah, by the looks of his team, it was really threatening. Like the Chestnut, the Delphox, I was really scared of that Rhyperior, and I was expecting him to lead with that. So what I did was, I led with Klefki, and I was hoping to get my screen set up or a layer or two of spikes. And I was correct. Brought in the Rhyperior, and I didn't want to get a lot of damage taken off of me, so I go for a Reflect, and he goes straight for the Earthquake, and I ended up taking a little under half, which was okay, but I was afraid to get critted for some reason, so I don't know, I switched out into Swampert, and what I was afraid of doing was, I was afraid of activating its weakness policy, because I know that Rhyperiors run weakness policy, so I didn't go for a waterfall because I was afraid of the whole solid rock and weakness policy thing, and I was afraid it was going to live by a little. So I go into Flygon to wear it down, and I have to admit, I was kind of lollygagging on the first few turns, so I go for U-turn to do some chip damage, and I ended up going out into Virizion. So, I bring in Virizion, and he goes for an Ice Punch, and I was a little surprised at how much damage it took. Not that much. So I go for a Leaf Blade, and I ended up taking him out, and yeah, crit. Hold on, let me move that. Okay, so he brings out his shiny Delphox, and I'm going to be honest with you, this thing was giving me problems throughout the whole battle. So I go into my Wigglytuff, and my plan here was to get a Wish Off and to pass it on to one of my teammates. So he goes for a Flamethrower, and it does a nice amount of damage, and my leftovers gets me a little bit of health back. So I was like, okay, I'll protect just to get over half, because I felt like I could live by a little slither of health if I were to just protect and get a little more leftover health back. So I get my leftovers activating, and what happens is that he goes for a Flamethrower, and I managed to live by 6 hit points, which I was like, okay, sweet, let me get this Wish Off. And I get this Wish Off, and I was like, okay, I should be in a good position. Now, I know Wigglytuff's very low on health, and so what I decided to do was, I decided to go into Swampert, and yeah, my Reflect wore off. So I go into Swampert, and I was like, okay, I can Earthquake or Waterfall this thing, but unfortunately, I got critted, and I was like, ah, come on, Swampert didn't do anything. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna bring in Flygon. So I bring in Flygon, and I was like, okay, I hope to God this thing doesn't have Dazzling Gleam. But it does have Dazzling Gleam, and I was like, aw, man, come on, give me a break. Yeah, I know, I was making such horrible plays. But what I do is, I bring in Darmanitan to scare the... Wait, no, not yet. What am I talking about? I bring in Klefki, which I should have done, and Delphox goes for a Psychic. I have a little bit of health left, so that was good. What I did was, I got a Light Screen up, just so I could bring Darmanitan back in and threaten this thing out, because I know that Flare Blitz, even in resisted, can do plentiful of damage to a Pokemon like Delphox. So, unfortunately, I lose my Klefki, no spikes were up, I only have the Light Screen up. So, now that I've done that, I brought in Darmanitan, and Darmanitan ends up scaring this thing out. And I was like, okay, anything can take a lot of damage from Flare Blitz. And he ends up bringing a Sceptile in, which I was like, sweet. There goes Sceptile. And I was assuming this Sceptile was his Mega. Usually I think Sceptile now is a Mega. So I was like, okay, that's good. Now that I've done that, he brings in his Chestnut. And I went for a U-turn to scout what he was going to do. I was assuming Spiky Shield, and I was correct. And I ended up getting a little bit of chip damage. No big deal. But then I was like, oh my god, why did I do this? I ended up going for a U-turn, and I was like, that was such a dumb play. I kind of facepalmed myself, and I ended up bringing Virizion a little too early, because I wanted this thing gone. But, yeah, I live a little bit left from the Drain Punch, and I have to admit, I outplayed this guy, but I felt like I did this I did this way too early. He still had plenty full of Pokemon left. What I ended up doing was, I ended up Sword Dancing. And with the Sword Dance, I was like, okay, let's go for a Zen Headbutt. And I do, and it only does half. And I flinched him, but I don't think the flinch really would have mattered that much. Actually, it did, because he wouldn't have taken me out. But I predicted him to Spiky Shield again, so I went for a Sword Dance. And yet again, it was another dumb play on my part. So, yeah, I ended up losing my Sweeper, which sucks. So I was like, okay, I am officially screwed at this point. But I wanted to see if I could take anything else down with Darmanitan. Well, I still have Guildmaster the Wigglytuff left. So I ended up bringing Guildmaster. I was like, if for any case I ended up outspeeding it, but nope. Just thought I'd tell you guys, my Wigglytuff is relaxed nature. Just don't question it. It's just relaxed nature. I know the moveset which I was breeding for that thing was supposed to be bold, but I was like, relax was close enough. So, now all it is just Darmanitan against the whole world. So, I was like, okay, let's take this thing out. And yeah, you're not going to survive that. No way. So, Juggernaut, the Chestnut, ends up going down. And then, yeah, I take a ton of recoil. Thing must have a lot of hit points. So, yeah, he brings back out his shiny Delphox, and I was like, yeah, I'm done for. So, pretty much Darmanitan goes down, and that is the game. So, yeah, I felt like I played way too carelessly and way too carefully at the beginning. But either way, good game to Edkraze, and on his channel, he is going to upload his side of the battle, and I will be checking it out too. Make sure you check out his channel, and I'll like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!